Coachella 2026 was a huge moment for us. I was kind of delulu going in. I was like, guys, I'm gonna have the most viral outfits of the season, and like I've never been to Coachella. I didn't go with a single brand, and then I don't know. It was so crazy that we were actually able to create this brown girls at Coachella moment. I think my younger self really needed to hear at the time that what she was thinking and what she wanted for herself was valid, even if it was not in agreement with the environment she was in or the people around her. So like when it came down to something as simple as what I was wearing, or I don't know, I would always have like a different answer to what people would say in class too. I think as a young girl, you're always internalizing that you are wrong in all these different contexts. And it made me feel really stupid, and that led me to just hold myself back in a lot of ways and prioritize what other people wanted over my own thoughts and like bodily autonomy, which is a dangerous place for young women, young girls to be. So that's why Sereni exists, right? I want girls to get to that place where they kind of feel like, oh wait, what I'm thinking is valid, and a difference of opinion or a difference of thought is not necessarily mean you're wrong. It just means like you just have a unique take. So, and we should celebrate that. And I think brown girls experience that a lot growing up. And that's what I've noticed too with Svarini and founding it now. It's so healing to come across this brand and like experience that epiphany earlier on in life. Cause I think too, like even I see it in my mom or like the older generation, not that the aunties are old, but like, you know, they're still kicking it. But I'm just saying like, there's a lot of women that go through life not getting that freedom in their mind and always prioritizing what other people want for them. So one of the earliest moments I felt limited in how I expressed myself was my first experience with slut shaming, actually. I was probably 12 years old, and I remember this is such a core memory. I'm sure I've experienced limiting self-expression before, but this is such a core memory. I remember buying this bikini from Target and already feeling like, cause like all the white girls in my school were kind of like wearing bikinis, and those triangle bikinis were super trendy at the time. And I was having this pool party, and I just like, you know, like went to Target, got this thing. It was like the first time I did it too. And I remember, not to put my family on blast, but I remember just like how angry it made some people, right? And that was kind of the first experience with the like, oh my God, what I put on my body, how I do it is such a point of contention. And that kind of, it's almost it's traumatizing for a girl, right? Like a young girl, you're like, now before you get dressed, you're kind of thinking about that. Like, oh, this really has an effect on the people around me, which is just bullshit. Fashion has always been more than clothing for me because, I mean, I grew up sharing a bedroom with my grandma by choice. She was my best friend for 16 years. And every day she would pick out her sari, match her earrings. Like, it was always so colorful. Even when I went to India too, I just felt the women, even in the cinemas, the aesthetics were so, so beautiful. As early as I can remember, like 3, 4, 5, 6 years old, like that is what would seep into my dreams. And like my clothes, I just like loved everything to be so beautiful before I even understood what my body was and all these body politics around getting dressed. Like fashion has always been this just like such a beauty. And I think that beauty is, it's such a staple in our culture too, how you get dressed every single day. Svarini has a complex origin for sure. The word Svarini comes from Old Sanskrit. There's the word Svarini. It was in circulation 4,000 years ago. And by definition, it means free woman, okay? And then, but when it was used in circulation, it was used to describe women in business, queer women, unmarried women, all badass women. But these were women that weren't following the rules, right? They were free women. It was used in a negative way. It was like used to put down free women at the time. Like free woman was actually a bad thing. So I found this term, I ran into it during COVID, when I was having like a spiritual renaissance, as all of us were when we were cooped up in our parents' bedrooms. Being a free woman is acting on your innermost desires and feeling free to do so and comfortable in that feeling. My ethos is, as long as you're not hurting anybody, you should be able to make choices freely. If you want to wear less clothes, if you want to wear more clothes, it doesn't matter as long as it's what you want. To take something that once carried judgment and reshape it into something that's empowering is so fun and so healing, because it brings out all of these girls and women with shared experiences. Now the clothes are fun, right? They're these colorful mediums of telling this story with such a powerful, strong ethos, right? It's filled with a history of trauma and oppression, right? Like how we dress ourselves as women. So it's just a fun way of bringing together the girls, and we bond over this shared kind of difficult experience and stories we share. So yeah, it's been very, very healing. When I first design a piece, what guides me first is it kind of just hits me in like a weird vision. Sometimes I'll be like waking up in the morning, the first thing, and it was like the last thing I dreamed about, and I have to go get it out. It's not necessarily like such a science where it's like I have a feeling. It really is, every piece is some sort of vision that has flashed into my head. I almost think of it like input output. Like the more I consume beautiful things, if I'm in a more meditative state in my life where I'm not brain rotting as much and I can actually let the thoughts in, the designs will just flow through my mind and I just have to get them out. I think, so if you look at my place, right, there's so many beautiful women on the wall, and there's just like all these like things I loved growing up, pretty aesthetics. And I think when I was growing up, it was really easy for me to get a lot of beautiful input, whether it's my grandma or Bollywood, Tollywood cinema was a lot of that input for me. Or just like I would like pin all my favorite like it girl baddies, from Instagram, Pinterest, whatever. And then like when I want to design something, I don't know, I've already had something in my mind. It's like, oh, I really wish this existed so I can wear it, and then I'll just design from there. That is really what differentiated us in the market, because I just was so obsessed with how it fit. If I'm in a design phase, it's usually really terrible. Like my whole life is like on fire. I've probably pulled an all-nighter the night before. That's why I design in seasons. Like I'll design a bulk of what next year is going to be in the winter. And if you're asking about my process for when I design, I just sit down. All of these ideas that I've kind of floated into my brain are in writing somewhere. Like I've put them down in notes. I'm like, okay, remember this dress from your dream? It had white here and like gold here, and this was happening there, and there's like a fishtail at the back, blah, 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 blah. And then like I'll get a time, like 2 weeks maybe in November, right? Thanksgiving season, no one's paying attention to what I'm up to. So then I'll like sit down, 8 p.m., start designing, and then it'll be 4 a.m. and I would have only finished like going through one piece. And why it takes so long is because there's so many different permutations of what this piece could look like. So I have to create all of them. Otherwise, I cannot rest. So I'll create all of them. Then I'll go to bed at 4 a.m., wake up, and then I'll look at it with fresh eyes, right? And then you're like, okay, now which is appealing to my taste? The more time you can take away from the design before you put it in making, the better, because you can really look at it with fresh eyes, and you can actually like get excited like as if you were a new viewer. You're like, oh, I actually want this piece. When you're so close to it, you can't tell. So that's how I like to do it, and then I kind of do that like 40 times. 2 years ago, I created 80 pieces for the Moksha collection, and I brought it down to 30 or something in making. We might have had 40 actually. That was a terrible year. You have to like get that many models and like shoot and write product descriptions and do fit prototypes for 30, 40 pieces. That was so stupid. So I really just like to limit down what comes to life. And also I've been focusing more on custom bridal pieces, so that really gives us a chance to kind of put all of these things I used to spread across multiple pieces. I was like, oh, I want to try this, I want to do this will be really pretty. I can bring that all into one really beautiful garment and silhouette. Moments of the process that feel special to me. I think getting it out of my head onto the page for the first time is a first really special moment. Because I think like any artist or anyone creating anything feels that way, right? First it lives in your head, now it exists. But I think the first like final prototype that we make, like I'll go to India. Anytime we're doing a new batch of designs, I'll go in India. I went 3 times in 2024. And like people are like, oh, like who's filming those videos in the studio, right, of the pieces? It's me. Like I'm taking those videos on my iPhone. Me and the Master G's hanging out. We're trying to figure out. And it's just like, I love seeing them get excited about what they're working on. And I love just like when the piece comes together, like the design. That's another good moment. The other really, really good moment is when the customer is wearing it and the customer is so happy with how it fits. It's just so wonderful, I think. That's a really good feeling. And wardrobe is prime real estate, and the fact that Sereni has a space in that is such a good feeling. Like to this day, I still handwrite a letter for every order I ship out, because that's just like, that's my favorite part. I've written like hundreds of letters, and it takes a lot of time, and it doesn't scale well, but that's like one of my favorite feelings. Moments of the process that feel personal. I think just the ideation of it, the references I pull, I really bake my own personal story into every piece. Like the lotus, butterflies, it all comes from things that really were important to me throughout my life. Like the butterfly was always a symbol, a sign for me. Even as a kid, I was always drawn to them. The lotus flower, right? I have the tattoo right here. It's the Svarini lotus. It's the same logo, but the tattoo came first. My grandma and I, we got it together. It's the first thing I learned how to draw. It's what Lakshmi Devi sits in, right? My grandma's the one that actually taught me how to draw it. So it's just, it's kind of like, even all the names of each piece, of all the Sereni pieces, have like some sort of story behind it, like Angelina or the Aishwarya corset. It's just like muses, you know? The Devata collection was the first collection, because the first collection was inspired by all of the women that have inspired me, right? So I refer to them as Devatas, they're kind of goddesses. Every step up in life I've gotten is because a woman at the top of her game, or like gave me a hand, if that makes sense, to pull me up. So that's even why Sereni exists. I think that I give that credit solely to women, actually. I've been lost so many times in my life, and there was always some goddess somewhere that was like, here, let me give you an advice, or give you a hand, or give you an opportunity. So I try to exercise that ethos every day, still, regularly. How do I know when something's finished or needs to be worn? Okay, my Master G, he's really bad at this. Like, I gotta like rip a dress out of his hand sometimes. Like the mermaid Met Gala dress, that dress we can still call unfinished, because we'll just keep working on it, because we are such perfectionists. So I really need a deadline to know when a dress is done. I'm like, okay, we're approaching the deadline, dress is done. I think, but if when it comes to art, like purely drawing, it's never unfinished, right? You can always revisit it, always add more. So I honestly don't think anything's finished. People will also reuse the fashion later, right? You put something in the archive, someone will buy it 10 years from now, they'll do something different with it, right? Like my mom's old saris or her old 90s, I like to like repurpose them. So I don't think anything is really ever finished. Reinterpreting aesthetics with such rich history and backgrounds. I think your intentions have to be from the right place, right? For me, it's just like, this is how I grew up. These are kind of the aesthetics that are floating around in my mind. I think like going to the temple, kind of growing up watching like the Mahabharata, Aishwarya Rai on screen. Like for me, my personal tastes are just like those aesthetics. I think it's just some of the most beautiful culture, like visually, like if we're talking fashion-wise, I think it's just like some of the most beautiful work I've ever seen. Coachella 2026 was a huge moment for us. I was kind of delulu going in. I was like, guys, I'm gonna have the most viral outfits of the season, and like I've never been to Coachella. I didn't go with a single brand. And then, I don't know, it was so crazy that we were actually able to create this brown girls at Coachella moment. Because growing up, I had never seen any brown girls at Coachella. Like I remember seeing Vanessa Hudgens, the Kendall Jenner, Selena Gomez era. I just loved it because the aesthetics were Desi aesthetics, right? Like my young brain didn't register that it was just cultural appropriation, because it was our aesthetics but leaving us actually out of the conversation. That is cultural appropriation. Like Ria Raj wore Svarini, right? Sheel Yerneni, like as many like brown girls that are representing us at Coachella. Like I wanted to just like get them in the best Desi Coachella aesthetics as possible, if that makes sense. Because there's always this like Kendall Jenner will wear like a dupatta, right? Like a Scandinavian scarf, and people will be like, that's like South Asian. Like absolutely it is. But also it's like when the Desi girls, when the brown girls do it, it's miles away, right? Like you can't even touch them. It's not, like the Scandinavian scarf is the lowest hanging fruit, right? It's just, it can, so I wanted to just like really just like see what we could come up with when we really merge those aesthetics together, and it was really cool to see it all come together. My brand is rooted in empowerment, and it means a lot of different things to different people. specifically to me, what it means is, I don't know, it just means freedom. I think it has given me the freedom to show up as myself in every room I walk into, in how I do business. If I'm going to a business meeting unrelated to Sereni, right? Like, it's like I'm still actually showing up as Sereni. Like, I will comfortably show up like this and get things done. So I think it is just giving me such a freedom to be completely authentically myself in every design and just in every way. When someone wears Svarini, I hope that they feel comfortable in their body. I hope that it feels beautiful. And I hope that they feel like they can do anything and make any choices they want for themselves and not external noise. Have you seen that meme where it's like, low-key, I'm just the same weird girl I was when I was in 8th. I have the same weird girl brain I had when I was in 8th grade. Like, and then that's how I feel. Like, I'm like the same person I was in 8th grade, just like walking around in this like new environment. What would my younger self say to me now? I don't know, she was very shy, very silent. She probably wouldn't have said anything to me, honestly. That's the thing, it's like I always want Svarini to like reach back to her, and I'm always trying to figure out how to reach her. This like really shy, hard on herself brown girl, right? I don't think the way to reach her is creating an it girl fashion brand. So I'm trying to always pivot Svarini to be like, how can I make an impact on her? And hopefully that comes through. Hopefully she's like, wow, good job. Thank you for creating this space. I hope that's what she says, but I still feel like there's work to do to reach her and make her happy.